We are now in Brookings, Oregon. Beaches here are a whole different vibe. Mr. George T sitting there for $1.50. Cool decanters up at the top. Forgot we're in Oregon. So the fact that we're in Oregon, everything's price controlled.
James!
I'm a YouTube guy.
Holy cow, you are a YouTube guy.
We are trying to get all 50 states bourbon hunted, and we're getting pretty close. Like, we're definitely into the 40s at this point. But we've got a new one here today. We're headed up the West Coast, and we are now in Brookings, Oregon. And there's not enough liquor store density in an area like this to actually hunt one particular town. So what I'm gonna do, no guides today, just surprise random drop-ins in a bunch of small town liquor stores up the Oregon coastline. And there's quite a few of them on our trip, so we may end up having to break this into 2 different videos. We're probably gonna film it over 2 days, but it may actually end up being 2 because there are quite a few of them on our trip because we're headed all the way up to Washington. First stop is Brookings Liquor, which is technically out of Brookings in Harbor, Oregon. Toasted rye right there. Got some single barrels. Portland, Oregon brand. Produced and bottled. Looks like they finish it with Oregon oak. Not their distillate. Bottled by them, but not distilled. They distill that, but it's 2 years old. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Trying to see what bourbon hunting's like around here.
Yeah.
How's the bourbon selection in Oregon?
In Oregon, really good. I'd say he's the bourbon
You're the
guy.
bourbon
We
expert?
just are a smaller store, so we don't get as much
we don't get a
bourbon,
ton of
but
the allocated items. We don't. We see some
Sure.
here. We just got our list here, but we didn't get anything. Didn't get any E.H. Taylor today. No Stag. No. Might have got some Blantons. Who knows? Haven't seen it on the paperwork yet, but.
How often do you see those?
Here we see 6 Blantons about every other or every third delivery. So every other or every third week we'll see some. My wife and I have another liquor store in Medford, and it's a much larger store, so it does a lot more volume. But on weeks that I get 6 Blantons, she only gets 6 Blantons, or she'll get 6 Blantons, and I'll get 6 Blantons. She get her deliveries on Thursday, and I get mine on Mondays. And so if she gets it on Thursdays, I know that I'll probably get some on Monday,
Right.
as long as the warehouse doesn't run out before then. And it's same with the Eagle Rare. One couple weeks ago, I got Blantons here, but then her Thursday delivery, she didn't get any because they were already out. But you know, we see the E.H. Taylors once in a while. We got some Henry McKenna in the other day, or a week or so ago.
Are those McKinnons hard to come by around here?
I wouldn't say hard to come by, but we only see them about every other month. We might see some. I know 8 years ago when it won Whiskey of the Year before it got super popular, we kept it on the shelf at Medford.
Right.
You know, you could order cases every week, and then the price went up $20 from 8 years ago, 9 years ago, or whatever.
Did
But
that immediately and got hard to find. So with the allocation stuff, do you normally just put it out on the shelf? You hold it for regular customers? How do you typically handle it?
What we do is we've got a couple of of course, Brookings handles all the bars and restaurants in town because we try to take care of our restaurants because they do the most business with us, obviously.
Right.
So they try to, and then that way everybody gets the sample that goes in there. They can try it. It's on the shelf and they can try it. Otherwise, we have people that will call us, hey, did you get any Blantons? Did you get any Weller? Did you get any E.H. Taylor? And we'll be like, yeah, we did. Well, can you put my name on one? And we do. You got to be here that day.
Right.
So we close at 7. If you could get here before the close of 7, then yeah, we'll put your name on it. But if not, you know, we have people call from Texas because they have family that live here, and it's like, I don't really want to do that because I don't know what you're doing with it. You know, are you putting it on the secondary market and trying to get more money for it? But no, we have a lot of regular customers that come and get some of our top shelf stuff. having the Medford store is nice because Medford store did we've got a barrel pick over there of the Angel's Envy.
I saw that.
And it's got North Medford's name on it. We got the High West was a barrel pick that we did, and honestly, this is a sleeper. This is probably, in my opinion, the best stuff in the whole.
Which is that one of the ones finished in something, or that's just a cast strength?
Cast strength barrel pick that we did, and it's probably hands down the best full flavored bourbon in here.
Well, you sold me on that one.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
I don't think I've ever had a High West pick, so that'll be fun to try. Anything made in the state, like that is distilled here, and most of this stuff is sourced and then they finish it on, semi-local oak, but anything made in the state that you think's fantastic or headed in the right direction.
There's one, and I don't carry it here. It's a Washington product, Woodinville, finished in port barrels. Phenomenal product, and I should bring it in here. I just, we run low on shelf space here compared to our other store. It's got a much larger selection, Medford does. Medford had a barrel pick that we did of Elijah Craig, and it was phenomenal too. But as far as Oregon product, I haven't found one 100% that I, drink every day.
And I'm trying to find something that's distilled here.
Yeah.
I looked at every one of those I grabbed was, sourced from somewhere else, and they're finishing, which, may be a fine product, but.
So one that we carry over in Medford is, I don't know if it's listed as Stein or Steen, but they're out of, I want to say, Joseph, and they do all their own, and it's all hand bottled, that's just husband and wife. It's a pretty good, they've got I want to say it's a 6 or 8 year.
So they have an 8-year product they distilled themselves?
I want to say it's 8 year. It could be could be 6.
Even so. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for the information.
Yep, have a good
Yes,
day.
sir. All right, that was a cool store. Probably going to have to find a little bigger store to find anything really hard to find, or get lucky and just find something on their shipment day. Looked like he had just got his list, maybe it just got a shipment, but it just happened to not have anything on it. So there's not really much else in this town. I think there is like a Fred Meyer's or some grocery store. Let's go see if they have a liquor store. If not, we'll have to move on up the coast. So probably not going to swing by that Fred Meyer's. Just kind of Googling it. Doesn't look like it has liquor. I think Google Maps is just showing me every grocery store in the area. Oregon has a reputation of being kind of rainy. Can confirm that one checks out. I don't think I've seen rain in my travels in like 2 months. We've avoided all of it. We found it here in Oregon. We're going to change pace a little bit. We were headed north. We were just across the border into Oregon, headed north. There's nothing there, and I'm waiting on Jill, so I decided to just jet down south, right across the California line, and we're going to go to All Star Liquors. Mr. George T. sitting there for $1.50. What batch? 24B, 24Bs. Batch proofs, Rock Hill 350. Barrel proofs. This is 4-2-80. $80 on a small batch. For most people, that's not a terrible price. 99 on a Blanton's. Looks like most of these are ish the bottom of the secondary market. 350 on that guy. One of my favorite ryes right there ever. It's not $500 though, but my God, that's one of my favorite ryes. It's the single malt. 300 on a 12, 250 on a Jack 10. This stag. This is like, I know this is secondary. I know this is a markup, but like that bottle to me, compared to most other things that are $150, pretty close to freaking worth it. Like I would rather have this than that or that, So price-wise, that's not terrible. It's all the super fancy stuff's back there. Yeah. 23-year-old Van Winkle. Man. You don't see very many of those. What's the price on a 23-year-old Van Winkle?
It's like 54.
Yeah. Figure that's going to be nuts.
55?
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell you. Don't see those very often. I did see the experimental collection. Don't know if I've ever seen one of those in person. $99 on that. Which one is that? Didn't they have several of them? Oversized barrels. So they put these in the 500-liter barrels. So a little larger barrel than it would have been Like normally they're 53 gallons. I don't know how many, that's math. I don't know how many liters that is, which theoretically means it got less aging. 199 on a full proof, 300 on a CYPB. Awesome, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Have a good day.
149 on the stack. Like if it was a small store, you know, these guys obviously get some allocation. A lot of it marked up to secondary. I've paid 150 for stacks before. And if I really, really needed one, I'd probably do it today. But I don't think putting everything to secondary is the best way to do it. Run your business how you want to do it. Seems to be working out for them. And you know, the thing is it depends on where you're at too. Depends, like the stores in DC we ran into, they're secondary stores, like you know it. And you know some diplomat's gonna walk in there and buy it. This is California, probably get a lot of tourists here on the coast. You know somebody eventually is gonna splurge on it and buy it. That's fair, that's fair. You know, if it's some small town liquor store in the middle of nowhere and you're doing that, you're just messing over your local customers. This one, right on the freaking coast, probably makes sense for them. So we're gonna head north from here. I don't know what the next store is, but I'll check in with y'all when we get there. A little pit stop on our way to the next liquor store. I will admit, as somebody who's used to the Gulf Coast, the beaches here are a whole different vibe. Sun directly at us. I don't know if that's gonna even show up on camera, but a lot of rocks, a lot of cliffs, different vibe. I promise you, when we started this hunt, it was super early in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, stores were opening, and here we are, what is it, the third store, and it's already like 3:30, 3:40 in the evening. We stopped, got some lunch, and did beach things. Checked out a little bit of the view and stuff. Took a lot longer than anticipated, so this is gonna be a long hunt. It's gonna be on into the night, but right now we're at Gold Beach Liquors in Gold Beach, Oregon. Let's see. Buffalo Trace is sitting there, look at that. $50. We did just get one of these, and then we passed on one, but for $50, hard to pass on that. And then look at that right there. Little $30 Weller Special Reserve. I need that. Not too bad. I don't need that. I've got a big one at the house, so I'm gonna leave that for somebody else to find. Eagle Rare sitting there for $39. Dude, prices here are crazy. Crazy good. Enjoyed this. I like the export version a little better than this one, but still, nice bottle of whiskey for $50. Always look to see what's in the boxes out here. Sometimes with the boxes, there's just stuff that's come in they haven't put out yet. Sometimes can be allocated. 30, that may be the best price I've seen on Weller Special Reserve in quite some time. Quite some time. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. I've got a YouTube channel where we just go bourbon hunting. We're just headed up the coast here looking for good bottles of whiskey like that 70th anniversary Wild Turkey right there. Have you tried that one yet?
I haven't, but I've heard nothing but good stuff. I also have the Milestone.
I don't know much about that one.
No?
That's Westward. That's a single malt, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be too fancy for me with the single malt. More of a bourbon fan. I see you got some Blantons back there. $75, that's a pretty decent price for that.
Yeah, it'll be $75 throughout the state of Oregon.
Okay, everything's price controlled.
Yes.
In Oregon, that's right. How often do you get allocated stuff like Blantons and things?
Well, the Blantons has been okay recently, and we get Eagle Rare.
Ever get any of the like super rare stuff?
No. I just got Booker. The Booker's in.
Booker's batch.
Yeah. Okay, doke.
Appreciate it.
All right.
You too. Forgot we're in Oregon. I went to California this morning, kind of threw me off. So the fact that we're in Oregon, everything's price controlled, so you can't mark it up. Should be no secondary here if we could find it. Now, supposedly there's an app that tells us who has what at different stores, but I hear it's pretty out of date, and I like to be surprised. So we're just gonna swing into stores, see what we find, but happy to get a backup bottle of this 70th anniversary Wild Turkey 8, because I got the feeling this is gonna go pretty fast at the house. Honestly, so far, other than the fact that it's raining and everything is just so freaking far from anything, like every store is like 30, 45 minutes apart on all these curvy roads. Other than that, Oregon might be one of the coolest places to hunt. I mean, the views are absolutely astounding. We're gonna do a little more liquor store hunting. I'm even more excited now that I remember that things are price controlled. I had Jill try to check out the app, but you don't have internet while you're going up and down the coast here. So We just kind of have to go in blind. We are in Port Orford at Highway 101 Liquors. It's a jewelry repair and liquor store. Looks like they are not open. Could be Veterans Day. Veterans Day, they are closed. Well, so much promise in that one too, but it is Veterans Day. I figure some places might close early. I might end up having to finish this hunt tomorrow, but on to the next one. One of the things y'all may not realize is we batch a lot of these videos, take big road trips. That's how I get to all these places, but it's Veterans Day today. So I was afraid some of these might be closed, might close early. So far, hasn't been a real problem, but we are about 20 minutes down the road, and this one was not on my list, but I saw it, figured we would stop at Landis Mountain Liquor. Whew. Smells like roasted chicken in here. Columbia Bourbon? What in the world is that? Produced by. Maybe a reason that didn't show up on my map. Really more just kind of a, commodity store there, mostly selling, and I feel like that's probably going to be the case with a lot of these stores. With the state controlled, it's going to be more just, selling your basics. Haven't seen anybody do a ton of barrel picks or anything yet. I know the first store was talking about some barrel picks with their other store, but up the coast here, I don't know. I'm sure we'll probably get into some more touristy towns at some point that might have a little bigger selection. We'll just have to see what we find, but we've got another one right down the road. Let's go check that one out. Bandon, Oregon. The Liquor Barn. Beverage Barn, technically, I think, here. All right. Huge selection here. Need to be on the lookout for, I forget the name of the one I think I was telling us about, but these are all Oregon distillers. But I think all these are sourced. I think we've looked at most of these. Oh, Stein, that's it right there. You did it! Yes! This is a 2-year-old. Distilled themselves, but 2 years old. Need a little older than that. All right, this is it. 2 years, 5 years. Distilled by them, 5 years old. All right, now if we can just find a cask strength. This is 80%. This is a rye from them as well. That is 5 years old. 80 proof. Check out their more standard selection over here.
The long-term problems like heart disease, cancer, and depression. Reason enough to rethink the drug.
I noticed all these cool decanters up at the top, like just all the way around the place. Various alcohol decanters. My guess is they either collect them or the store, not in this building, has been around for a long time. So kind of cool to see. Huge selection considered what we've seen thus far though. Hey, how are you? And I was told, as far as like stuff that's distilled in the state, this is the best.
I agree.
Do you wouldn't happen to have a cask strength of either of these, would you? Let's see, what's hiding over there? You got a Baker 7, looks like. 4 Roses. Nothing particularly rare over there that I'm missing. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. We're gonna try to see if I can find one more store. It is Veterans Day. Maybe we can find more. I don't know. We'll keep going. But I got the feeling some of them are probably gonna start closing earlier here. And it's 30 minutes in between each one. So we're gonna go on up the coast, see what else we can find. But these were the big ones we were looking for based on what that gentleman at that first store said. So excited about that. All right, let's get on the road. We are now in Coos Bay, which is a little more small city and a little less small town. We are at Liquor 101. We've been going up and down 101, which is why everything seems to be named after 101. But let's see if they have a little more selection here, seeing how they got a few more people. I actually have a YouTube channel where we just do bourbon hunts. And we were headed up 101, just stopping at every liquor store we could find looking for bourbon.
Oh my goodness.
Where's
I'm
James?
right here.
You're the bourbon person? Okay.
Where's James?
No, James.
James!
Wait, he has a
He's
microphone and a
YouTube
camera.
guy.
He's a
I'm a YouTube guy.
Holy cow, you are a YouTube guy.
TJ,
I know who you are.
we were just coming up the coast, just stopping at every liquor store we could find.
Yeah.
And this is probably the last one for the day.
Yeah. Well, you saved the best for last.
Is that what I've done? Okay.
I don't have a whole lot right now, but I mean, have you read anything about the Woodinville, the 8-year that they
I have
have?
not seen anything about the Woodinville 8-year. Also a cowboy bourbon right there. You don't see a lot. Yeah. What are y'all giggling about?
He's like, oh, I know. Oh, you are the YouTube guy.
That's funny.
Anything particularly, I mean, that's semi-local, right? That's,
Up in Washington, yeah.
stayed up. Anything like local other than that? I'll probably take that one just to give it a try, but
It's worth it. That's probably the best bottle I have in right now. So everything Oregonian I have goes from there. to
okay.
there.
Most of the ones, now we don't, single malt's not my thing.
Yeah. Not
And then a
mine
lot of the
either.
stuff we found from around here is just sourced,
Yeah.
or it's, a couple of years old.
I hate to say it, but the Oregonian whiskey is just our climate is not meant to age whiskey unless it's a single malt.
Yeah, so it's gotta be
Which isn't
really
what I
old.
like, isn't what
Yeah.
you like. I mean, this is Kentucky bourbon. It's sourced and then they finish it in Oregon oak. I might have something for you in my office.
Oh, I'm always down for office whiskey. Always helps to get recognized, You get the office whiskey, hopefully.
Does that make you feel any type of
Oh,
way?
that makes me feel all sorts of feels right there. One of my favorite Buffalo Trace bottles, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you.
I think they're $65. But
It's Oregon, so it's got to be
Oregon, so
MSRP-ish, right? No hates on that whatsoever. Man, that's a big score right there. Definitely the biggest selection we've seen so far today.
If you're traveling on the coast, it
Yeah.
will be.
Bunch of small towns. I was hoping to at least hit like some small old school liquor stores that maybe had some, some Dusties or some things sitting around for a while. Everyone we went into was just a commodity shop. They sold Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and 5 other bottles, and that was pretty much it.
I don't know how much you know about the redwood stuff, but
A little bit. My problem, they've come out with these kind of, sand-colored labels. That's
newer
the,
ones.
yeah. I don't know what they are, and I have to try them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really like Redwood Empire though. I really like their cask strength stuff.
So do I. Have you had the Lost Monarch?
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know much about these kind of sand-colored label ones.
And I don't know a whole lot either. So,
Yeah.
other than I like the cast strength, I like the bottled and bond. They come out with new labels, I order them.
You just get them, yeah. I mean, it's fair. But this is their high malt mash. So I've been kind of skipping that one until I'll get a sample. It'll be wonderful, and I'll never be able to find it.
Yeah.
That's what'll happen.
I'm sure you've seen the grain to glass stuff.
Oh,
I'm
of
sure
course,
you
yeah,
have
those-
a few of those.
Those were super popular when they first come out. I don't know if they put out a lot of it or the popularity died, but
It
they
lasted
now
a
are
long
sitting
time,
around.
and-
Yeah,
And now they're sitting. Yeah.
sitting quite a bit. The
It's
red
like
label.
weeded. I haven't
Yes.
been able to get that.
I was about to say that was my favorite, so I think
Like
that's the
one
one. Yeah, that kind of held the most interest. Ben Holiday making its way up here.
Holiday, not the
Frey?
Rick House proof right now. I've had them from time to time.
Okay, they're just kind of hard to get.
But yeah, allocated in the state. So Larcenies, both of the most recent batches of the barrel proof.
I hear the new label's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I got almost a half a barrel of it when it came out. So
The Larceny?
I got 16 cases, so I got 96 bottles.
Okay,
So
so a bunch of it. Yeah.
just because.
Toasted rye, those were rare for a bit. I've seen those out here. I don't know if I've seen them everywhere else. Have you had the Bullet 12 rye?
I haven't. No, it came out, and it's funny. My bullet rep told me to be on the lookout to order it, and it came out and it's allocated, and I didn't get any. I'm like, I thought you told me I could order this, and then all of a sudden came and went, and I missed it. So
This is the first decent sized city we've been to on this trip since we've crossed the border of California. I mean, is liquor here a little easier to get here? I know it's, lots of times it goes to big cities in states like this, but
yeah, we're between us and the one other store in town. We do more volume than the rest of the southern coast altogether. Are you continuing up north?
yes, we're heading on up to Washington.
Okay, yeah. So if you're staying on the coast, you'll see there are a couple bigger stores in Newport, which is 3-hour drive north of here.
Okay. What about the other store in town? Is that worth going to, or I should just keep on going?
I don't know what he has right now. Sometimes he has some office whiskey too, so so it depends. It depends. He might not be there now, but I don't know.
It is kind of late on a holiday weekend, or Veterans Day today, so.
I've turned away also kind of from the allocated stuff just because it's fun to try stuff you haven't heard of. That's what I might have picked that off of your videos a little bit too. Just going.
I mean, you could look for something like this. Like, honestly, it's probably only the second or third one I've ever bought in my entire life in a store. And then, or you could just walk in anytime you want. And you've got Holiday sitting there. Those mixtures are delicious. Heaven Hill. Frey sitting here is out of this world good.
Yeah.
I mean, those are as good as most of the unicorns out there, especially some of their off releases, like their single grain series and different stuff.
That here.
Yeah, but like, you hunt that.
I've
Right?
had some barrel picks of their uncut stuff that are just to die for.
Absolutely. That's what the first barrel pick we ever got was from a liquor store in Vegas.
Okay.
From them, just got a bottle, and I was like, okay, I got to find out more about this distillery because it was nuts. And it's still probably the best barrel pick I've had from Frey. Appreciate it. I'm gonna grab that Woodinville 8-year there as well.
It's worth it. Passing on the Garrison.
So this is my favorite Garrison out of all the Garrisons. I talk a little bit of crap about Garrison Brothers. I do. I know. I say it tastes like you're drinking a ground-up baseball glove. Not like a new baseball glove, like a well-worn, sweat-in, just got done, Wrigley Field in the summer. You ground that sucker up and you drink it. But I still kind of like it. Like, I know that doesn't sound like a description where I would like it, but it's an occasion whiskey for me. Every once in a while, I absolutely want it, and Cowboy's the best one. But $250 for a bottle I'm just rarely ever going to touch. It's the best one, but it's not, to me, from my palate, worth I'll just get a regular Garrison Brothers. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. It was nice to meet you.
I'm James.
James, good to meet you, James.
If you come back, Wednesday's the day.
You would not have been able to walk in and get that Rock Hill Farms. You wouldn't have. But they had you got the Woodinville. You could have got some stuff out front. I think in general you could have gotten it. Overall, pretty successful hunt. I think we're going to call this one right here, though. Did pretty good on the Oregon coast so far. We're going to do some more hunting tomorrow up the coast as we continue our trek. See if we can continue to find even more whiskey. I don't know if we'll hit all the stores he mentioned. I think we're going to probably head up a few hours before we start the next hunt. We're kind of behind. We're behind schedule. This took way too long today to get up the coast and to go to lunch and do a bunch of stuff. So now we got to make up a little time. Appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. We'll see y'all in the next one.